Hi, guys. I wanted to talk to you a little bit further about probate and whether you should be avoiding probate. So, avoidance of probate is really a client specific question, and it's not really necessarily something that is best for everyone. So, it's certainly best if you reach out to an attorney and discuss with that attorney what your specific circumstances are before you get too concerned with avoiding probate. So, some of the most popular reasons why you would want to avoid probate is number one, probate is a court process and therefore it is public, which means that who your heirs are and how much they're receiving, when they're receiving it, is all public and people can have access to it. Unfortunately, I've seen, especially in my personal injury settlements, that had to go through the probate court system, you definitely have individuals out there that will prey on individuals when they know that a large sum of money is going to someone. So, making sure that you have your privacy may be something that is concerning to you. Another reason why you may want to avoid probate is because it definitely takes a long time. In some of the rural counties, I've seen that the probate courts don't hear cases but quarterly. And most cases take a couple of hearings depending on what's going on with them, which means that it can very easily take you 9 months, a year and a half, depending on what's going on with your jurisdiction, especially with the COVID situation. Certain cases have been pushed up on the docket and have taken priority, which, depending on what those cases are, rightfully so. But that also means that cases that are not as pressing, where there's not a constitutional right to a speedy trial, will sometimes get pushed to the bottom if there isn't something inherently urgent about what's going on with them. And probate cases sometimes will get pushed to the bottom. So if you're needing to access funds or assets in a quick and efficient manner in order to, pay a mortgage or something, so you don't lose your house, that is something that you certainly want to take into consideration when you are considering whether to avoid probate. Okay. And then last but not least, definitely the cost. So willsandtrust.com, I believe, is the website. I don't know. I'll double check that. I know I've blogged about this. So if you have questions, check out my blog on my website. Their average is their average estimate for cost of probate is about 5% nationwide. And so if you own a house, it's fair market value of all your assets. So if you own a house, $500,000, 5%, boom, that's your cost. And that's just for a house. What goes into those costs? So court costs, attorney's fees, bonds, appraisal fees, all kinds of little fees that can add up. And then, of course, the attorney's fees, especially if you have a contested action. So a lot of people will utilize legal mechanisms in order to just avoid having to pay money to the government and pay money to attorneys and spend money out of their estate for something that can very easily be avoided. It may surprise you to know that even if you have a will, you still have to go to probate. So a will cannot take effect until it's been filed with the court and the court deems that it was properly executed and enforceable. So even if you have a will, you will still have to go through the probate process. Those are just some things to keep in mind if you're thinking about whether, probate is for you, whether you're concerned about probate. I've had several people say, I'm not worried about any of those things. Great. If you are worried about them or if you have further questions, definitely feel free to reach out to me and I'd be more than happy to discuss the specifics of your circumstances, because it is really specific to everybody's personal desires and their personal, preferences as it relates to what they want done after they pass away. Thanks, guys.